As the final days of Ramadan draw to a close, every Muslim faces a strict, time-sensitive obligation before the celebrations can begin. It is called Zakatul Fitr, a compulsory charity of foodstuff required from every single Muslim. But before any food is measured or distributed, the process has to start internally. You must establish your niyyah, which is a pure intention dedicated entirely to Allah. And there is a hard deadline. This obligation must be entirely resolved before the communal Eid prayer begins. Navigating the specific logistics of this charity is the final step to completing the fast and entering the holiday with total spiritual peace. Let's break down exactly how to do it. Step 1 is determining the exact head count of your household. This visual breakdown shows exactly who must be accounted for. You have to include every male, female, young child, and elderly dependent living under your care. Once you have that total number, you multiply it by the historical measurement standard required per person. This is known as 1 saw. Because a saw is an ancient measurement of volume, we need to translate it into modern metrics. Today, 1 saw equals approximately 2.75 to 3 kilograms of food per person. The head of the household is authorized and expected to pay this total combined weight on behalf of all their dependents. Getting this exact calculation right ensures you don't accidentally underpay and fall short of the requirement. The traditional medium for this charity is the specific staple food of the region where you live. These accepted foodstuffs typically include local crops like rice, wheat, dates, and barley. However, depending on where you live, acquiring and distributing bulk grain isn't always practical. This graphic shows the widely accepted modern alternative. Calculating and paying the exact equivalent value in cash is completely valid according to many scholars. Whether you are handing over ancient grains or modern currency, the strict value transferred must always equate to the physical sustenance of one human being. Now we need to know who receives it. The charity must go to the same categories eligible for general zakah, specifically the poor and needy. There are also strict guidelines on exactly where this charity should be distributed. This map illustrates the baseline rule. It is highly preferred to distribute Zakatul Fitr in the exact city or region where you physically reside. There is one main exception. You can send the charity to another country, but only if there is a demonstrated specific need in that region. When it comes to the actual handoff, distributing the food or cash personally is always the best method. If personal delivery isn't possible, appointing a trustworthy person or an organization to act as your proxy and distribute it for you is fully valid. And remember, while 3 kilograms per person is the minimum requirement, giving more than that amount is highly encouraged. Correctly targeting these resources ensures that this wealth immediately elevates the most vulnerable members of your community right when they need it most. All of these final steps have to be completely resolved and fulfilled within an exact, non-negotiable window of time. This timeline shows exactly how tight that window is. The payment becomes obligatory immediately after sunset on the last day of Ramadan. As a practical concession, it can be distributed a few days earlier if you need extra time to ensure it reaches recipients. But the closing of the window is absolute. Distribution must be completed before the Eid prayer begins. If the payment is given after the prayer concludes, it is completely invalid as Zakatul Fitr and counts only as regular charity. By accurately calculating your household headcount, measuring out the proper provisions, and beating this strict deadline, you successfully fulfill your duty, and you are ready to celebrate Eid.